attachment will be automatically go. You don't have to endeavor. A lot of people, a lot of yogis and rishis, they attempt to detach themselves from this world. They'll sit and meditate. Okay, I'm going to think of nothing. Or I'm going to become separate from this world. It's not possible. But by developing an attachment to that which is the origin of all sweetness, the origin of all beauty, Hare, it's an eternal mantra, the ultimate stealer, the ultimate thief. Krishna, then eventually we won't be able to be attached in our family. But in the verse that I was explaining before, Achire Krishna tomai koribai udhar, that Krishna will soonly deliver you. In other words, because there's something called fake renunciation, Falgu Vairagya. There's a river, anyway, Falgu means fake renunciation. That's actually what Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami at the same time. When he asked that question, he said, Markata Vairagya na kore loke dekaye jota yoga visha bunja anashaktis hoya. He says, don't do monkey-like renunciation. If you see a monkey, what does a monkey do? He lives in the forest. He has no house. He has no family. He's so detached, doesn't need any clothes. Goes on a fast, only raw food. Only fruits. So detached from everything of this world. Perfect saint, you know? Perfect yogi, just there in the forest, in the trees. Sometimes under one tree, sometimes under another tree. Like a sage. But as soon as a female monkey comes, then he jumps on her. Like that. You go to Vrindavan in India, monkeys everywhere. You see, he said, don't do this monkey-like renunciation. Jata yoga visha bunja anashakti swaya. What you need to keep your body, your mind, your soul together, then you enjoy that. If you need a house, then get a house. If you don't need a house, if you're qualified to give up your house, then you won't have to ask the question. Automatically you'll give it up. Yeah. That's there. It's like, I know it's kind of a gross example, but Srila Gurudev says that if you need a pass stool, you don't tell anyone that, do I need a pass stool? No, you just go and you do it. There. So when one's developed such a deep, sweet attachment to the spiritual realm, to Krishna, to God, and then those things of lesser sweetness, of lesser beauty, automatically, like passing stool. Why do I need this anymore? But the process is to cultivate antarakoranishta, cultivate that strong faith, reading the Shastra, reading the scriptures, chanting, practicing ourselves, then automatically the detachment will come as a natural side effect. The strong faith will come. We know that Ishwar means God, the supreme controller. And Adiradi Sarvakara Nikaran, the cause of all causes, the whole reason why universe exists, the whole reason why this world is there, is why? It's because Krishna wants it to. For his pastimes, because of his desire. So everything is originated from Krishna, from God. That's by definition. God, G-O-D, Buddha says, generator, operator, destroyer, that's God. So everything is generated from God. So if you completely give your life to God, you think he cannot maintain you? Everything comes from him. Of course he can take care. But it needs some faith. Yeah. It needs that needs to be real. Because artificially you can say, okay, God's God, he'll maintain us, everyone leave everything and go and live in the forest. You know, kick the monkeys out. But you can't do. But as a natural side effect, as that nista cultivates, as that strength comes, then automatically it becomes supremely obvious. That's there. So basically it's a fancy way of saying, read the scriptures, read the Shastra, associate with Vaishnavas, chant the mantras, do all of that, and put your heart into that. But externally do the duties that you need to do, and once those duties are done, that's good, but not necessarily have your heart in that. And eventually, the process takes a little bit of time, but the process will happen automatically. Krishna, Mahaprabhu, they're waiting there. When is these souls going to come to me? They're waiting. Any chance they have, we cultivate some this, and then they help us along. They help us along, and they take us. So we're not alone. You know, this is called Paramatma. Inside the heart, Chaitya Guru. Inside the heart, always waiting to guide us, to help us on the next step. Is that okay? Does that answer the question?
Yes, I just hate being in that sort of between place.
Yeah.
Because I jumped to India, and I thought, yeah, my ticket's for 7 months in India. I lasted 17 days. I almost ran past Gurudev. And then I got back over here, and then I was like, yeah, Whole Foods, yeah. I kissed the ground, I walked on over here. And then within a couple of weeks, it's like, I'm thinking, oh, India, Yamuna, what did I miss? Why didn't I get it? And I want to go back and try again. It costs money.
Yeah.
And then I'm afraid the same thing will happen again, but I still want to go back again. So when you say develop your nishta, then does it always mean that we should all try to go to Vrindavan? Not to take up all the time, but I maybe could ask that later of you or something.
There's a special power in Vrindavan. There's a special power. So at some point we'll need to go. We must go to Vrindavan and get the mercy of Vrindavan. So without the mercy of Vrindavan, Bhakti cannot come. That has to go there. Now, am I saying that everybody should go live in India? No. That's according to everyone's on a different stage. Everyone's on a different path. Everyone's evolving differently. So, at some point in our spiritual life, yes, we will need to take shelter of Vrindavan. And that's where Krishna lives eternally. So in our spiritual form, we're also going to go live in Vrindavan forever. So definitely. Along the path, though, by going to Vrindavan, especially in the time of parikrama, especially in the time when we, parikrama, when we go on pilgrimage to the places, so much can happen in that time. Sometimes in that 1 month of parikrama, of pilgrimage, you can advance spiritually more than it would take in many other lifetimes of trying to do other things.
How many days is that?
30, approximately. It's amazing. So amazing. Just in those 30 days, it's such a... I see it like a pressure cooker of spiritual life. Because all day there's kirtan, all day there's Hari Katha philosophy classes going on from morning to evening, then there's service going on. It's just like, there's no time for anything else. And then there's this special power of the month, the special power of the Dham, the Dham means the place. There's the special power of the association, and the mantras, and the Hari Katha, everything just combined into one, like, super, ultra spiritual power shake. It's really good. So yes, I do advise, as soon as you can, go back to Vrindavan, stay as long as you can survive, maybe a little bit more than 17 days.
I left before parikrama.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
I understand.
I was more worried about sleeping on the floor with 4 women and bathroom privileges than I was about staying when Gurudev was ill. And he looked right at me. I said, I know. Here I go.
It's okay. No need to feel guilty. Guilt is a Judeo-Christian phenomenon. It doesn't exist in the East. Actually, I'm not just making that up. Vladini Shakti, one of her acupuncture magazines, where they were talking about guilt, and they said there's no word for it in Chinese. Actually, there's no word for it in Sanskrit or Bengali, or it's not there. And in that article, it was saying that it's predominantly a Judeo-Christian phenomenon. To feel guilty, you're a sinner, you're bad, you're that, but it doesn't exist in the East, so it's not there.
Wow. Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
It's okay. Krishna Buli Seiji Vanadi Brahma, since before time existence, we've been born, dying, new bodies. And in every body we advance a certain amount in our spiritual path. In this spiritual life, you've got to go to Vrindavan. So powerful. 17 days, more powerful than most of the zillions and zillions and zillions of living entities which exist. Like in one drop of water, how many living entities are there? Srila Gurudev was explaining that in Australia. So many living entities in one drop of water. So, out of the very few in one, you've got to go to Vrindavan. Amazing. Even if it's only for a few minutes. Special. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Krishna. Thank you.
The next question, Shamapriya Didi's question, was, are there a set number of souls that exist in material universes? And if there are a set number of souls, then that means when everybody goes back to the spiritual world, this world is going to be finished. And I haven't heard in scriptures any specific answer to that question, but I do know that the process of questioning is coming from a limited state. For example, like, okay, how many living entities were created? But time is a material phenomenon which only exists here. So when the language is also limited by our brains, which are only this big compared to all of the universe. So when the living entities were created, that's not a valid question, because there was never a time when they weren't created. So, but at the same time, it's all eternally happening in the present. And then also just the way that the universe works. I mean, our universe, like if you take a big, huge telescope. I think they have one here in Maui, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, super special telescope. And look out, you see millions and millions and millions of galaxies. That's only one small part inside the vortex of all inside our Brahmanda. You know, and then inside the Brahmanda, there's only one, there's so little in the pore of Mahavishnu. So really, reality is very big. And they say, Tarkana Pratishthanat, that we can't understand the Supreme Absolute Truth by material intellectualization. You know, like our experience now is, well, everything that this BlackBerry didn't exist before, now it exists. No one day it's going to be destroyed. So everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So for us to conceive of something that doesn't have a beginning, middle, and end is beyond our material thing. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, okay, so what's above the sky? Yeah, okay, that's above the sky. Well then, okay, then there's Krishna Loka, you know, there's the spiritual world. What's after that? There's black. Okay, well what's after the black? Well, there's more black. You know, to have the concept of infinity, or is
It's mind-boggling.
it doesn't work in the mind, but it doesn't mean it's not a reality. So, yeah. So I don't know if there's a specific number or not a specific number, but I think the process of understanding it can't be understood like this.
I used to do the same thing. I used to try to grasp infinity,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do it. I would start to just freak out.
If you're ever bored and you got a couple hours you need to kill.
But I finally conceived of just a circle.
Yeah.
No beginning, no end. It's just a circle. Like, that helped my mind.
Yeah.
I still regret.
Yeah.
It seems to me, if there were a set number of souls,
Yeah.
again, we're